Good evening, Brooke. It's lovely to have you here tonight.
Kia ora, thank you very much for coming along today, and it's so great that we have this Māori and Pacific Meet the Candidates event for Henderson-Massey.
You know your Pacific and worldview sort of values. How has that helped you, shape you as a civic leader?
I'm elected on the Henderson-Massey local board, but also for my day job, I'm a Māori issues lawyer, and so I went to law school. Oh, there goes that one.
Maybe we can pause.
And how does your cultural identity and values play a role in your civic leadership?
Yeah, you can't separate the two. They're one and the same. Very much embedded in pretty much everything I do. The principles of aroa, pirianga, which is equivalent to whanaungatanga. It's about our people, so I can't do anything without our people. And alongside that, I'm no expert, so our communities are also the expert knowledge holders, and I just love that space of collaboration and sharing and learning.
I'm a big believer in whatever the thing is, you've always got to start from your cultural framework. So that's where I start from. Samoan values like the collective, looking after people. So even though, we're in this Palangi world and over here at Aotearoa, that's my framework. I always start from that place.
My identity sort of defines me. It's one aspect of me. I have multiple identity. I have an Indian heritage from Fiji, but also I've been in New Zealand since 1971. I've been involved in a lot of programs within the wider community, in public policy, and also just dealing with the senior citizens as Vice President of the Waitakere Grey Power, member of the Waitakere Ethnic Board, and also as a community advocate for people with special needs. My youngest son is autistic, so it's precious to me to make sure that we leave a better place for him and for more mokupumas.
Deeply embedded in us is our love for our elders, for our family, for even our community around us. So it doesn't even matter who you are. That is deeply embedded in us and who we are. So that will reflect how we lead, even for this local election, how we best care for our people, using that.
Well, I'm Māori, so I use my kaupapa Māori values, so manaakitanga, looking after others, whakawhanaungatanga, establishing relationships, and also aroha love. They're fundamental to myself as a community leader and how I lead, how I interact and engage with others. That's really important. But being actively involved in the PaCIVICa community, particularly the Samoan community, and I love the concept of tautua, so the service to others. So I'm lucky in my job as both an elected member and also a high school teacher. Service to the community is instrumental to that.
It is imperative to have our cultural identity at the core of everything that we do. So I'm a Ngapuhi, and so we whakapapa up to Kaikoe there, and it's all about service to me.
Well, that's why I stood last time, because this board had never had a PaCIVICa representative, and West Auckland's got a huge Pacific population. Outside of South Auckland, it's us next.
That's true, yeah.
So that's why I saw there was a need for a Pacific voice, and it's so good to see so many Pacific candidates running this time, putting their hand up. I'm really inspired by that. I feel like everybody should run.
Yeah,
I don't think it should be just if you're a business person or if you're this or that. I think whatever your background, if you've got that will to serve community, you should go for it.
Maybe I should try.
You should. No, you should.
My sense of purpose is that it's not too much of an ask to make sure that we live in an environment where everybody feels welcome and inclusive. It's a clean, connected and safe environment. That's where I want to see my children and mokupunas thrive and be a better citizens of this country and also residents of Henderson-Massey. That's what drives me. That's my kaupapa.
I just think that we need to be more represented because we have a more of a balanced and in our well-being, it's in our culture to love and to care for people. I think we need more of us.
I just think it's really important for Māori and Pacific to vote, to get out there. It's an opportunity that everybody has a say. The elections, everyone's in the same footing, so it's really important to really get out there and vote. So I'll totally support that.
At the core of what I do, and when I say yes and when I say no and all of those things, is someone who's got a foundation and grounding in faith, and so very, very faith-driven, and I think we've got a really good demonstration of what it is to serve in terms of my faith as a Christian, and so I try my best. It's not perfect, but I do try my best to reflect that kind of service in the community. Yeah.